0 hour. Let's go to the cage and get our fighter announcement started. Here's our man, Jeff Hobbs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our next bout of the evening. It is sponsored by the 0 Hour. The 0 Hour is the Aries Fight Series weekly podcast on YouTube. Find the 0 Hour on YouTube. Give us a like and a subscription and get notifications when we post new interviews and fights. This next bout is in the bantamweight division and scheduled for three-minute rounds. Your first fighter, fighting out of the Allure Properties blue corner. He weighed in at 135.4 pounds. He has a record of 2 wins with 1 loss. He represents independent MMA and fitness out of Noonan, Georgia. This is Brennan Johnson.
2 youngins in this bantamweight bout. Brennan Johnson, the 19-year-old with already 3 fights under his belt as an amateur MMA fighter from the independent MMA and fitness camp in Noonan, Georgia. There you see Johnson. Johnson stands at 5'8". He will have a distinct height disadvantage in this one. We'll get to that in a second, but Brennan Johnson, actually Brennan Johnson 5'9", not 5'8", I apologize. And Johnson is 21 years old, and Briven Sullivan is the 19-year-old, but same premise. Both of them are young guys. Johnson, of course, gets to work with some really accomplished fighters like Doug Usher, Mike Johnson, Chrissa Timms, and others at that camp. White belt, high school wrestling background for Brennan Johnson. This will be a nice matchup of 2 young guys with a lot of promise, Tom.
Yeah. He's 2-1. He looks very comfortable. He enjoyed his walkout to play in this song.
And take a look at the tail of the tape. Excuse me, Tom, as you see Brennan Johnson 2 years older than Briven Sullivan, but both guys young. The 1-inch height advantage for Brennan Johnson over Briven Sullivan. This is a 135-pound bout, so Sullivan in the amateurs, they give you a little more leeway. So both guys within range of the 135. And Johnson is in the cage first with some flair. We go back to Jeff.
And his opponent, fighting under the Knoxville Warriors Brokers red corner. He weighed in at 136.6 pounds. He has a record of 1 win with no loss. He represents Agogi Combatives right here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is Briven Sullivan.
Briven Sullivan, the 19-year-old, he has put in some work with Boss Rutan. Has Briven Sullivan, obviously everybody else there at that Agogi Combatives champ, Logan Neal, who'll be in our main event, and Briven Sullivan feeling Halloween, and happy Halloween to all of you.
Pointing that blade.
Yep.
Who's that, Jason? Is that Jason? No, that's Halloween.
Yeah, that. How about this very unique entrance? We're gonna let this ride and see what Sullivan does here.
I'm liking it. Little theatrics. Scaring the kids away.
You got to win after you do this, though, right?
Yeah, big time. Talk about added pressure.
I don't think he's worried about that all that much, and I think his camp probably thinks it's a lot of fun. I don't know how much fun Brennan Johnson thinks this is, as he's like, hey, can you make your way over here? Oh, that is not even Johnson. I thought that was Johnson, but it is not. It was the entrance.
That was his hype man.
Yeah, how about that? And now here comes the Agogi Combatives camp in full force. I mean, the building for Agogi Combatives is coming out. So well played by Briven Sullivan and had Agogi camp. The Brennan Johnson camp is like, hey, stolen. Let's go. So let's tell you about the fighters. Briven Sullivan, his 1 fight was a win, unanimous decision over Khalil Sims. That was in August. And Sullivan obviously getting to work with so many of those terrific fighters in at Agogi Combatives. Interesting, Sullivan really accomplished in Muay Thai. How about a 13-1 record in Muay Thai, 1-0 in boxing as well. He's gotten to work with Boss Rutan, Vince Cachero, Jose Johnson. I mean, a lot of accomplished guys. And Sullivan, look at that little face-off to get us going pre-start. Sullivan is feeling it. So
we're on.
Yep. Brennan Johnson in the black trunks, Briven Sullivan in what looks like her pink trunks. This bantamweight battle 135 presented by the 0 Hour. Caleb Miller, our referee, 3 3-minute rounds, and we are underway.
Big shots out of both guys.
Johnson had a canceled bout against Bimisola Atobra back in June. So his last fight was in March of 2021.
Briven looking to keep it standing. Johnson, I think this is a more wise move to try to take it to the ground, especially with such accomplished kickboxer in Briven. You could even see Briven was eyes locked on the target. So this is what Brennan has to be doing, using his cage, using his takedowns, and not allowing Briven to get set.
Sullivan has fought listed as a featherweight, but this is a bantamweight bout at 135.
So they're both working their way down in weight classes, getting to more of a pro weight. And the beautiful thing about this Aries fight series is even as an amateur, you get day before weigh-in, so you could make a pro-style cut.
That's a great point. Takedown for Johnson.
Good work by Johnson using that head pressure. You hear his corner yelling it, which is like having an extra hand. You're using your head as a hand.
Johnson's wins coming via Darce choke and unanimous decision. His loss via guillotine choke.
Briven doing a good job of getting these feet in front of him. This could be something to get him out. And look, he's using it to get out. Looks like he's locking in. Oh, it's so hard to see with his legs all tangled from this angle. It looks like he's going to be trying to shoot for an arm bar.
Yeah. Trying to get that hand separation, but Johnson holding on.
Good job striking here. He's trapping that arm.
Those are some clean hammer fists.
Use the knee to push the leg over your head.
Yeah. I wish I could get a good look at his feet from here.
You gotta let go and defend that leg.
He's doing a good job of trapping and punching. I like what I'm seeing out of Briven.
Oh, man, those hammer fists still landing clean on Johnson.
Fight the leg.
Oh, now he's in trouble. He's in a reverse triangle. Briven's just got to squeeze his knees together, which it looks like he's doing.
Yep.
Fight the leg.
Brennan's turning red.
You gotta fight those
Nice,
legs.
I like it. He's trapping and punching that body. Those play dividends later.
Oh, it's an arm in, too. I mean, just a tangle job here.
Yeah, he's
Johnson
got
is
that
in.
reverse triangle very nicely, and now he's
I think he just twerked from a top position just to have some flair and change things up. Goodness.
Yeah, pull that knee down. Pull that knee down.
yeah, Brennan didn't like it. Finally got him to move a little bit.
Final seconds, and that is it for the round. So Johnson survives, but goodness, Sullivan controlled a good part of that round to give him the first round, I imagine, right?
Yeah, it's no question who it goes to. It goes to Briven.
Yep.
Look, as you can see here, we have Briven trying to find his range, like that Dutch-style kickboxing. Big shot return from Brennan. Oh,
that was
big,
clean.
big right hook, front hook. Briven still staying in his face. Big shot, though.
Yeah, Briven ate that well
Very well.
and then controlled the rest of the round.
Yes. Briven looked great. I liked what I was seeing, how he trapped them and was using his hands. It's a good sign of a good mixed martial artist.
Brennan Johnson started his amateur MMA career at NFC 126. That was in August of 2020. A Darce choke win in just 44 seconds over Lee Alarcon. Then had a canceled bout against Anthony King. Unanimous decision win over Ivan Barron. Then lost via guillotine choke at NFC 130 in March of this year to Justin McCollum. Had that canceled bout against Bimisola Atobra in June, and now he is back in, and he is in round number 2 against Briven Sullivan from Gogi Combatives.
Briven taking the center of the cage, keeping Brennan on the outside. finding his range. Brennan's looking for that big looping overhand, but he's losing his footing every time he's throwing it. Good shot by Brennan. Now what he's got to do is make sure he doesn't get himself in trouble. Briven going for that switch. Brennan doing a good job with his head. Let's see if he could be a little smarter this time while being on top.
Step over that leg. Move up on the hip. Smash your leg, move over.
Right here, he could be landing some short shots with that left elbow. His hips are higher than him, and that's what keeps him pinned.
Push the knee down. Elbow tight.
Good head control by Brennan. He's using that cage, keeping him against. Briven, what he's got to do is he's got to do what he's doing where he's got the foot on the hip and he's got to get that pressure. Looks like he's trying to stop for a triangle. Just makes it hard to grapple when you're at heads against that cage.
Corner wants Johnson to posture up.
Oh, he's in an armbar. Now he's got to posture down.
Yeah, the facial expression tells it all on Johnson. That is uncomfortable for him.
He's out. Now he's got to pass and not get caught in the triangle.
Go back into that guard. Up.
Corner wants him out, and now triangle attack.
Oh, that's in too.
Arm is in.
Oh, turns it into an umu.
Out, over. Wow. Briven Sullivan stands over a fallen Brennan Johnson after the victory, and now looks to the crowd. And Sullivan now comes out of the cage. They're going to put him back in there. You do not want any volatility with any fans. So Sullivan, the 19-year-old overexcited Johnson, is really upset, but it's a second-round submission. And take us through this, Tom.
So look, he locks it in, and what he's doing is he's bringing his knees together. It's a little bit more of an advanced triangle. Now he's going for that omoplata, but the triangle proves to be enough that he's just got to keep squeezing. He doesn't even have to get his hand on the head. Very upset, Brennan, but this is amateur. This doesn't go on your pro record. This is why you fight amateur, to get these losses and to learn how to act like a pro.
Yep.
Learn how to be a pro.
And I think there's plenty of that learning now. Those guys are hugging right now, but there seemed to be a fair amount of dislike going in, and maybe that was part of Johnson's frustration. But yeah, still a learning process for both of these guys to get better and how things are presented in your reaction for two young fighters. All right, let's make it official. We go to our guy, Jeff Hobbs.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Caleb Miller starts this bout at 1 minute and 43 seconds of the first round. Your winner by triangle choke, Briven Sullivan.
Actually, a second-round victory, as they did go to the judges' scorecard. No, I mean, they did go to the second round.